Okay. And let me get this a little bigger. Okay. Let me move this out of the way so I could see everything. Okay. All right. So the time is now what, 6:08? Is that what, 6:09? On 6:09 on Thursday, July 10, 2025. And so I'm calling to order the 4 Point Channel Landmark District Commission a public hearing to order, and present tonight are Commissioners Umfanor, Rhodey, and myself, Baraducci, and Rachel. The BSC staff is on the call is Rachel Erickson, the Preservation Planner. So tonight or today, the commission will be holding a public hearing to review applications in accordance with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Executive Order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, extending the supervision of these provisions until June 30, 2027. We're conducting this meeting online to ensure public access to the deliberations. The 4 Point Channel Landmark District Commission the public may access this call through telephone and video conferencing. This hearing is being recorded. All further conversations between the commissioners should be audible to the public in attendance until the hearing has adjourned. And at this point, we ask if there are any media or elected officials present on the Zoom call. And if so, if you could raise your hand in the Zoom platform and state your name, title, and affiliation.
Not seeing it.
No one raising their hand. All right. And then finally, members of the public will have an opportunity to ask questions, provide public comment on the application and applications and discussions. To do so, please raise your hand in the application via the Zoom meeting platform. And I will repeat these instructions when we open up public hearing at the end of the presentation. Okay. So the agenda tonight is that we have one design review application, and then we have 3 administrative review applications to read into the record and vote on the staff's acceptance of them. And then we have ratifications of the May 8th, 2025 hearing minutes, and then staff updates and adjournment. So the first item is application 25.1024, and this is 268 Summer Street. And the proposed work is install new lit signage at front facade. So the applicant can introduce yourselves and get started.
Go ahead and raise your hand and I'll unmute you. Joseph's iPad or Julia's iPhone, are either of you for 268 Summer Street? Oh, interesting. Well,
can you hear me at all?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Hi,
Okay.
Joseph. Are you here for 268 Summer Street?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Perfect. I have your presentation, which is this slide. So go ahead whenever you're ready.
Okay. So we have a small little sign we're going to install here. It's a push through. I think you're familiar with that, correct? A push through sign.
Push through meaning the letters are pushed
Just
through?
the letters are lit. The background is opaque, correct. What we're proposing to do, it's like a gold, metallic gold face. And what we did you can kind of see the Guild Salon. We have done that before. We added 23 karat gold leaf to the sign face and distressed it a little to make it look like an older piece of distressed metal, so to speak. And it worked out very well. Customer was very happy with that. Nest Seekers is looking to do the same thing. It's backed with LED lights, very subdued little type of thing. I don't know if you guys have any questions at all.
Ooh, David, you're
Everything we see in white is what's going to be the push through, and those will be lit up.
Correct. Yes.
All right. 4 feet. Wow, that's big.
I think what they're doing is trying to make that look somewhat symmetrical on the columns, because the columns are large, the brick columns.
Yeah, as long as there's enough brick sort of space around the sign, is what we're looking for. We wouldn't want the sign to completely fill up the column.
Correct. That is to scale what you're looking at.
All right, so it looks like there's a decent enough breathing space around the sign. And I see you're going into all the joints as for any of the conduits and the mounting.
Correct. I always do that. Just if sign ever comes down, you just have to fill the joint. You don't touch the brick. Correct.
So I mean, you know, I kind of saw that it's going to be this kind of gold color. You know, it's a little, to be honest with you, this is a industrial maritime district in terms of its design style, so it's a little out of character. A little
Yes, we kind of was suspecting that, but it is knocked down a lot with the gold leaf. It kind of knocks that whole shininess down, so to speak, and it looks more distressed, I would say. But you know,
Yeah,
I see your points also.
yeah, because the rendering on that you're showing the sign, that looks like that might have a shine to it, or sheen.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to show what we did via printing. That's what it is.
But it wouldn't have a shine necessarily.
No, no, not at all.
Yeah, all right.
It's mostly all satin finish.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any part of that facade along that stretch of Summer Street that kind of is expressing a goldish or brass or something in that area of the color palette that would kind of suggest this is something that would fit in well, or we're just again, I think David's point is a little bit of a departure from kind of the metal dark colors, very subdued sort of.
Correct. We're doing the
that
Bellman
you're
Jewelers one, just down, I think maybe the next store over or a block over, but that is more white, in maroon color letters. So I don't know if there's any other gold, so to speak, on that block. You know?
And is this Nest Seekers, is that gold coloration kind of a part of their brand identity?
Yeah, correct. Correct. Yes.
Got it.
Is there is it a textured finish?
No, it's a very the actual aluminum that we use. It's almost like a brushed gold. It's a satin brush gold. And then what we did is, like I say, we kind of knocked that all down with just like hitting some gold leaf on it, and then kind of knocking the gold leaf down, and it gave it a distressed look. They happened to see it and they really liked it, and they wanted to go with that.
I mean, as long as it has a distressed look to it, rather than a shiny or brass, or is it actually gold leaf that you're applying?
Yes, yes. And then we knocked the shine down off of that. So it kind of gives that brush gold like almost a two-tone kind of look. You can almost see it a little more on that little sample that's above the Guild Salon. See how that's a little more textured, that sample up there? It looks more like that.
Yeah, I think I like the texture, prefer to see the texture to it. That gives
Yes.
it a little bit more, takes it away from the downtown look, so to speak.
Correct.
But I mean, I don't know, it's up to the other commissioners if they have.
Can you share a little bit about the scale? Are there other comparable to the scale? We've just actually approved a whole series of signs that are in a similar configuration. They're rectangular. They're on these columns on Summer Street. And I'm just wondering how you arrived at 48 inches. I think that we ended up with an approved application that was, those signs were slightly smaller than that.
Yeah, well, this particular one is 48, I think, on this sketch by 40. I think we went by the brick columns because I believe the brick columns are 5 feet wide. So that's how we came up with the 48, leaving some 6 inches of brick all around. And I believe the one we're doing for Bellman Jewelers is just right around 4 feet. Same thing, 40 inches by 48.
Oh, it is a similar size.
Correct.
Yeah, because we were kind of looking to keep within the same scale.
Correct. Yep.
And so, all right.
Yeah, and that Bellman Jeweler sign is the same scale? It's 48?
Correct. Yep. Yep.
Okay, and what is the thickness of the gold that we'll see like on the sides? What is what of the gold will we see? Like, is that a half of an inch or a quarter inch?
No, the sign itself is about 2 inches thick because you need to put the LED lights in it and
Okay, so
have
it's
at
got-
least some nice transparency so you don't see spotting, you know?
And then it's pulled away from the brick. Is there
Correct.
a spacer back there?
Yeah, we usually, sometimes we don't hit it right flat against the brick, so just take it off just to here.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a little cabinet, 2 inches thick, a little cabinet, you know. The LEDs in it, you can actually, we make it so there's set screws around the side of it. You can take the face off if you ever have to service it or anything, and then slide it back in again.
And those are
Yeah.
2300 degrees Kelvin. Those
Yeah, I
are
was just
warm
gonna ask
LEDs.
that. Yeah.
Yes, yes, everything's a warm white, correct, correct.
Yeah. Okay. Tom, do you have any
I don't know,
comment?
well, I'm kind of actually kind of a little bit drawn to it just because you're wanting to kind of make a statement not just to pedestrian and bicycle traffic, but to some car traffic that's passing along there. So maybe the scale isn't quite so onerous. If generally we're looking for less is more in the district. Summer Street tends to be a little bit sort of more of a hectic environment, from a transportation standpoint. And then just seeing something that's got at least the heft of a say a 4-foot sign, it would probably catch your eye, even if you're driving 20-25 miles an hour through there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
Just one thought, and I appreciate that you're highlighting the kind of sample there up at the 23 karat gold finish that's kind of distressed or muted a little bit.
Correct.
That doesn't that doesn't bother me quite as much as I thought it would, to be honest.
Yeah.
As long as the scale is accurate to those other signs, what we don't want to end up with is a whole series of columns and signs that are different scales.
True.
I agree with you 100%. This is the same as, again, the same size as the Bellman jewelers that we're doing. I can only speak for the two signs, what other people do, you know what I mean? I can't control that, but our two will be the exact same. And the Bellmans will be going up next week, to be honest with you.
I think it looks like Bellman's is 4 feet by 3 feet. Does that sound right? I just pulled up the updated version.
I think it's just a little under 40 inches, correct? I think it came out to like 48 inches. I'm sorry, 38 inches in height.
Yeah, it's 36 high, 40.
Yeah, by 48 wide, correct. Because of their layout, so that's why we knocked it down a little in height, because of the way it started looking out of proportion a little for them.
Yeah.
But as you can see, the 48, the 48 does not bridge, the column. It gives you that 6 inches of brick all around, and you have more height than you do width.
A question for the other commissioners: if we had, let's say, a couple, 3, 4 more presentations of signage of a similar nature, would we be okay with more of these dimensions?
Well, I think that it's
running down the street.
First of all, they need to keep it within the same scale, but it all depends on where they place it. In other words, if a business doesn't have columns that are nice 5 feet wide, then this size sign would work. So it all depends on where they're putting it and how much breathable space around it is. And so I think, but now we kind of have a sort of a precedent that really we don't want to go any bigger than 4 feet by 36 or 40 inches. So I think now we kind of know. But
this one can come down to 38 in terms of taking an inch off the top.
Yes, if you look at the Nest Seeker's actual design, you won't lose any. They have plenty of negative space top and bottom of their lettering.
Yeah,
you could take those 2 inches away very easily.
Yeah, I mean,
without compromising anything.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd like to see that if it's possible, because the negative space on the column is also another component here that we're not really mapping to the other sign, and just have that the repeating column and the repeating scale of the signs across at least both of the signs you're doing would be great.
Yeah, no,
38
I agree.
by 38 by 48.
Okay.
Yeah,
I will double check the exact measurements of Bellman's and I will make it the same exact thing. We can do that. Like I
Yeah.
say, I think it ended up coming out to like 38 inches because of the way their layout was.
Yep.
Finished size. Yeah,
And then it's centering it
And we-
vertically, it's centering horizontally.
correct.
in that space.
Correct. Yep.
All right. And one last thing on the you have these Tapcon screws. I know we've never really made this point, but since there is going to be a breathable space back there, and water will go through behind it. I just want to make sure that these screws will be rust proof so that we don't.
Yes, all concrete screws are,
Are
you
they
know,
okay?
made to withstand any kind of elements outside, correct?
All right. All right. So if I think
Yeah,
everything.
does it, well, yeah, does it make sense to have staff maybe look at a mock-up of this kind of distressed gold? If you have something like that, you know, that you can make available to us.
Well, I think we could relegate that to staff to get a sample piece of it so that it has it has more of a flat to satin look versus anything that's going to be a sheen to it, and then, if Rachel goes out there, she could determine, that they need to make it a little less shiny.
A little rougher,
Yeah.
a little.
Yeah, so I think if you guys can get a sample piece of it, I think that would be easy enough to do. So as
Yeah. Typically, we don't put anything out high gloss unless the customer asks. All of our stuff is usually satin finish, but I could see if we can work on a little sample for you.
Yeah, okay.
That'd be
All
great.
right.
Thank you.
So if that's it for the commissioner comments, we'll open it up for public comment. All right, so members of the public will now have an opportunity to ask questions and provide public comment on the application and discussion. To do so, please raise your hand via the Zoom meeting platform. And if you're calling in and cannot use the platform, you can press *9 to raise your hand, or you can send your questions to staff via email at fortpointldc@boston.gov.
All right, I'm not seeing any hands.
Coming through.
I do not believe we have not received any emails.
Okay. All right. That's good. So we'll close the public comment period, and if one of the commissioners could make a motion.
I would make a motion that the scale be adjusted to 48 by 38 and that the sign be centered vertically and horizontally within the negative space of that area of the column, and that the color temperature be maintained at 2300 Kelvin.
But basically you approve it as presented with those.
Proof is presented with those provisos.
Yeah, okay, great.
And what about the material mock-up?
Oh, and the material mock-up would be provided to staff in advance of the installation, particularly to review for the level of shine.
Yeah.
Who would I want to send that to or get that to?
Joseph, I'm Rachel Erickson. I'm the preservation planner for the district. So I'm the one who reviews all the applications and like coordinates the hearings. I've been in touch with somebody named Lori.
Yeah, she's our office manager. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So just have Lori reach out to me and we can set up a time to meet on site with some samples, and we can just check and make sure it's distressed and not
Okay. All right.
shiny.
That's fair enough. Yep. It's easy.
All right, so the motion is stands, and do we have a second?
Okay.
Sorry, I will second it.
Okay, great. All right, Commissioner Umfanor,
Yes.
Brody,
Vote yes.
and I vote yes. All right, great. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a nice rest of the evening.
Thank you, Joseph.
All right, so now we have administrative reviews, applications to read in, and these are applications that came before the staff, and they were presented to the staff, and the staff approved them based on their adherence to the standards and criteria. So our vote or the motion after my reading them in would be to approve of the staff's approval of these applications. So the first is application 25.0991, and this is 44 Thompson Place, and it's regarding the install exterior menu holder into the mortar joints at the front facade. Next, 25.1026, this is 30 Thompson Place. Updates to blade sign approval in the December 2024 application, which was application number 25.0468. And the last is application 25.1040. This is 355 Congress Street. And it's regarding emergency repair approval in kind repointing and repair of window sills and lintels, replacement bricks, and repaint the window trim. So the motion is to accept the staff's approvals. Do we have a
I
second?
will second that. I will second that.
All right, Commissioner Umfanor.
Yes.
Brody.
Vote yes.
All right, and I vote yes. All right, that's next, or what's next rather, the ratification. Yes, I reviewed them and I didn't see anything particularly or problematic with them. So anyway, so we need a motion to accept the May 8th, 2025 public hearing minutes.
I will motion the May 8th, 2025 public hearing minutes.
All right, to approve them. All right, and then second.
I will second that motion.
All right, we'll just do a voice vote on this. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. All right. Staff updates. Let me guess. You have
Yeah.
four people in the hopper for coming on the commission. Is that what?
They've all been approved. Yeah.
Well, kind of instantly moved through instantly. No, really don't have too many staff updates that pertain to Fort Point Channel. I think there's kind of just like a summer lull in appointments
Probably.
happening. So hopefully in the fall that can kind of get re-kick started. We have hired a new preservation planner, Gabby, who did Fort
Oh,
Point a
she's
few
gone?
years ago. She is taking on a new role, and so her place has been filled by someone named Jackie. She's coming. I think she's originally from the area, but like went to school in Florida. She won't do Fort Point, but you might see her from time to time if like I need help for something like that at a hearing. But we're really excited to have her, and she'll start in 2 weeks, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yay.
So
Yeah.
Gabby is still staying on the stage.
Yep, yeah. So she's moving to the more of like the history survey side of the office. And so then she'll be in like a projects manager role, kind of helping out with a bunch of different things. Which is really exciting.
Okay.
And then, so the AIA had their architecture conference in Boston in June, and the BLC was invited to participate in a panel. And then the AIA conference also asked if I would give a tour of Fort Point Channel because the convention center is so close to the district. And so I just want to let you guys know that I did do that. We had 37 architects. I took them around the district for about 2 hours.
I heard about this
They
actually.
had a good time.
I heard about this from some architects who
Oh,
went.
wait, really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, hopefully they said good things.
That's great, Rachel.
Yeah, it was
Tour guide
really
extraordinaire.
It was really fun, and I feel like a lot of them, especially the people not from Boston, just didn't know that Fort Point Channel existed, and they were really excited about what a like hidden gem of a neighborhood it was.
Oh, wait,
So,
sorry. What did you say? How did you describe it?
a hidden gem of a
A
neighborhood.
hidden gem of a neighborhood. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, because most people think, Beacon Hill, Back Bay, or even South End when they think of like atypical Boston. But then to see like this awesome, super unique district with huge history and huge potential, to continue to develop with the area's needs and interests. I think they really enjoyed it.
Well,
So
and
I just wanted to
now-
say you guys are doing good work protecting
Thank
such
you.
a cool place.
Well, and
with
now,
you-
the seaport is sort of blaring at everybody who comes to visit Boston, especially the first time. So you go down to Seaport Boulevard, you wander around. But then if you just happen to stumble, to the right a little bit and get into the Fort Point district, it's like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. What a terrific place. And, great restaurants, great little, places to sort of hang out. It's kind of an amazing enclave.
Yeah.
You're right that people probably from outside of Boston wouldn't even know about.
And so many people were skeptical when we were writing the guidelines that it was going to drag down the development in the district and too many, restrictions and
Yeah.
this and that, and it is just the
And
opposite.
hurting property values. And
Right. Right. So
if anything, it's
Nonsense.
had an accelerant effect.
Yeah.
By the way, I'll let you know.
They should be thanking us.
Yes, the word you're looking for. Thank you. I'm an IAG on the Gillette planning for the 31 acres, and we're advancing, and others, of course, are echoing, making some portion of that site, whether it's the landlocked tidelands or other areas, part of the A Street Protection Corridor. So we'll find out whether they are willing to acquiesce to that. But we feel strongly that it is an important boulevard around the district, and even the land that the Postal Service owns that is not developed is, as you all know, part of that protection. It's not within the district boundary, but it's part of that protection.
The A Street protection area.
A Street protection.
Yeah.
well, it isn't officially though, is it? Or I can't
No,
remember.
within the Postal Service land, there is an A Street protection, or
Oh, the postal district land. Yes, I remember
and so
that.
Gillette is not in any way a part of the boundary. They did not want to be a part of the. But now that land is being upzoned as part of the 31 acres that the BPDA and Gillette are, this is a topic that is being advanced. So we'll find out whether they are willing to do that. But of course, I think it's a great idea, because it means we all get to hang out some more, because think of all the buildings that are going to have to receive approvals if it's within that area, it's a chance to have 2 meetings a month.
How much of the Gillette site is, are we talking about where that new formerly GE building was going to go, or no, there's something there already. They did already build that.
Eli Lilly
Is it where the parking lots are? I don't remember where.
No, so it's Eli Lilly, which is 15 Necco, which is where GE was. Then there's a related Beal parcel. It's about 6.8 acres. Then there's Tishman Spires parcel, which is, I think, 3 acres or 3, something like that. Very narrow shotgun kind of site. And then there's 31 acres. And that acres goes from more or less 10-20 Channel Center Street all the way down A Street, including the A Street Park, including Artists for Humanity. That whole A Street Boulevard on the Gillette side is completely unzoned from a perspective of anything more than manufacturing. And so the conversation has been around what can be done to embed within the zoning the district character. And of course, one way of doing that is to put some amount of that Gillette land into a protection area.
But so in other words, in order to do that, though, we have to amend that. You're calling for an amendment to the guidelines.
Well, I'm not calling.
No, but if that's what they want to do,
that's what we would need to do. We would need to expand the. It would ultimately be up to the BLC or to the Fort. But
I think it's got to go through the city and
but I'm just sharing with this group that that there is energy within the neighborhood.
Right. Yeah. No, that's great.
Crafting off of the work that of course David and many others.
Is designating it a protection area sort of a first step to getting it into a landmarks designation, or is this what are they? How are they quantitative?
It's an alternative form of designation, Tom. It's less stringent. Usually for a protection area, you're only looking at things like height, landscaping, massing, views into the historic
elevation. Yeah. Because the other protection area is where the Yotel, is it the Yotel?
Mm-hmm.
The church. That little skinny parcel is also just a protection area.
And it's also texture material, right, Rachel, in the sense that the relationship of the texture and material, the buildings has some relationship with the district, or is that not?
No, it's not.
I would say that's a little bit more of a architectural conservation district, which is a higher level of protection than just a protection area, but an architectural conservation district has less protection than a historic district.
Right. And the reason that the post office parcels were designated protection areas because there are no buildings on that site, so you
That's right.
can't landmark ghosts of former buildings.
Oh.
And, you know,
Wait a
so-
minute. Good idea.
So that's why
In this
it's a
alternative
way of-
universe, we can do that.
yeah, so as a way of having some control, at least it was designated protection area. So
Anyway.
anyway,
Interesting. Okay.
Cool. Very
Oh, good,
interesting
good
stuff.
news. Kind of, you know. Keep
Yeah,
us
we'll see where it
posted.
goes. I mean, look, this isn't a giant soup with
Yeah.
percentage of housing and height and a million other things, but
Yeah.
it
Right.
was useful to at least have a reference point within the community conversation point.
mm, good.
Sure.
Well, we'll
That
see
would
where
be
it
very
goes.
cool, actually.
All right.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Mhm.
I will be doing some summer traveling at the end of this month, but that shouldn't affect you guys at all. But if you do happen to have any questions, and you get my away message, feel free to email blc@boston.gov or just email Joseph Cornish at boston.gov, and they'll get back to you if it's urgent.
Great.
I sent to you, Rachel, the photographs that I took today, 15 Necco boundary issue with that boneyard sign. So
Great, thank you. I will look into that. Thank you for
course.
keeping tabs. I appreciate it immensely.
All right.
Thanks.
Okay, if that's it, we'll have a motion to adjourn.
I'll motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Opposed? None opposed. Okay, great. See you next month.
All right.
Enjoy.
Bye,
the
Hey, we got
summer.
together. Yeah.
Enjoy your vacation.
Thanks,
See
Rachel.
you soon. Yeah, have a
Yeah,
fun
enjoy the
vacation.
vacation. Yeah.
Have a good time.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.